Hey, this is James Pelton, and today I'm not going to do a video with one of my crypto strategies. This is actually more of a video on a non-crypto strategy. So this is something that I don't recommend that you do, that a lot of people in the crypto market do pretty regularly, and some of you might even disagree with me. That's totally fine. You're welcome to your opinion, but I'm just seeing this cause a lot of pain for a lot of people. And that's the idea of using leverage to further your positions on certain projects. So basically what happens is projects that are doing really well, if you look at time and it's looking really bullish back here and it looks like it's going to just keep going up, what a lot of people do is they will basically take out a loan with their time as collateral, and in order to buy more time. So they'll use something like Abracadabra as one of them, and I'm hesitant to even show it to you because I don't recommend that you do this, but you basically, on Abracadabra, you can borrow against your current assets in order to buy more of those assets. Okay, so that's what people have done on the way up of time is, time's at 4,000, and so they borrow against their time to buy more. So then they think, oh, I've got, and you can't use, it's not one for one. Like you can maybe do 50% of your value of time is how much you can use as collateral for buying more time. But what happens when you do something like this is a price is put on your time that if it reaches that price, you have to be liquidated in order to pay off your debt, basically. And what happens a lot of times is people, if it gets up to 8,000, time was at back in October. And so people will set the liquidation price at like maybe 5,000. And they think, oh, that's so far away. 8,000 to 5,000 is so far away that I'm comfortable setting my liquidation price at 5,000 and then buying more time. Okay. And there's a lot of people who've done this. And in fact, Daniel, who's the head of Time, has tweeted about this. Basically, he's saying, stop doing this. It's causing a lot of problems. But then what happens is when time starts to fall, like as we've seen here in the last few days, if you reach that 5,000 price, even if you just dip under it, it forces a liquidation. There's bots that go in and basically sell your position. And then that causes the price to drop even further because now you've sold that time that you had at that liquidation price. So not only do you lose what you've taken out collateral to borrow, but you lose your collateral also. So whereas I have time that, I bought it at 6,000 or 7,000, I think, but even though it's down at 4,000, I don't have to sell it, right? Because I haven't taken out leverage on that. So this is really hurting the markets right now when they're on their way down, is these people get liquidated. They're forced to sell at the low price. That's the worst part of it, is you're forced to sell at the low price. People do this with Bitcoin also, where they buy at a low, on its way up, they'll take out collateral against their Bitcoin. When it's up at 62,000, 65,000, they'll take out collateral and say, oh, it'll never reach 42,000. And when it's at 65,000 and it's on the way up and you start hearing all the YouTubers say, oh, it's going to go up to 100,000, it's going to go up forever, then you think, oh, I'd be pretty safe at a $42,000 liquidation. But then what happens is we get down there, and even if we just dip, then all your Bitcoin that you've accumulated up here, you're forced to sell down here. So it's just a really bad, so basically, and the reason people do leverage like this is just greed, right? It's just, okay, time is a powerful project, and you start looking at these calculators and how many Lambos am I going to get? Oh, I'll get 27 Lambos. And then you're like, well, what if I doubled the amount of time? What if instead of 1.8, I had 3.8? Well, then I could have 57 Lambos after a year. So it's just greed. So basically my message to you is don't be too under greedy. I was talking with I talked with some people, and they're happy with, oh, I get 10% return a year. I'm happy with that. And there's not necessarily anything wrong with that. Okay, if 10% return is fine. I'd rather be a little greedier than that in the crypto market, and at least with the Anchor protocol, you're at least getting that 20% on your savings account with Anchor. But don't be over greedy, where you start gambling with money that you don't actually have and start using leverage on some of these things. And it's crazy. I was watching a video today about how time is kind of, the price is falling apart. And I just want to show you one comment. If I can pull it up here. So this is a video about how time is doing poorly and leverage is the cause of it. And look at one of the comments in this video about how leverage is messing up time. And his comment, no offense, Flux, if you watch my videos as well, but it says wrap your mem and borrow against it about 40 to 50% leverage to earn a higher return. And it's on a video about how doing that very thing is causing these problems. So it's just, I don't know. I don't recommend it. This is not financial advice. You can do whatever you want. But I would recommend you stay away from abracadabra. You stay away from leverage. And you just, as the price goes down, you just watch it and say, oh, okay, well, I'm not going to sell. I'll wait a year and it'll be back up to, my $6 million, my position, or $3 million. So that's what I recommend. So again, this is not a crypto strategy. It's a anti-crypto strategy. We'll call it anti-crypto strategy number 1 is what we're going to call this. Thank you very much.